2 years and 4 months ago, I started this channel. Thank you so much for the 36,604 hours of watch time. Y'all are amazing. Happy Thanksgiving Day, all you hardworking warriors. I do hope that you are enjoying it with your family, your loved ones, or whoever else is around you. If you're all by yourself, please go outside, hike up in the mountains, hike out in the wilderness, get close to God, and yeah, just be thankful for everything we got. That being said, today's gonna be hard. Last day of my cleanup on this mission of mine is three videos right in a row of trimming and hardcore cleanup. Right now I feel like I'm in a turkey oven, because if you know this property, if you've been following this channel, you know this property, that's usually a beautiful skyline. At the moment, it feels like I'm in the smoker oven with all the turkeys across the United States of America. I can barely breathe. It does not smell pleasant, and there's a huge place in the forest that's on fire. So, be thankful for what you got, and I'm going to show you what we're getting into right now. And we'll have some more discussions as we go, because I got some other things we're going to talk about, business-oriented. So, last video put out, we cleaned out this fence, and we started back here in this garden area. And, yeah, the front yard's already cleaned up, and I'm going to show you that footage right now. And we'll come back here after you watch the front yard being beautified. In my opinion, one of the hardest things that we can go through is when we work a job and we put in a lot of effort and a lot of detail, and at the end of the job you look at your profit and it's just not where you wanted it to be, and it kind of disappoints us. You know, we spend a lot of time detailing these properties to be just manicured to the highest level, and sometimes that eats away at the clock. We don't even realize it. When you get out here, you're working, you're in a groove, and time flies. So the purpose of today's video is to never, ever look at your profit and be discouraged and be let down. And we're going to give a shout out to Ben Godwin, because Ben Godwin, he's one of our warriors here in the community, and he wrote me a question, and we're going to answer it. It's going to benefit all of us for sure. So Ben writes in, Randall, I love the videos per usual. I have a question for you. I landed my first mansion property, an acre and a third in the middle of the city. I've been doing a cleanup, and I have her on my weekly mowing, weeding schedule. She wants recurring visits for the mulch beds, and I'm really unsure how to bid this, as some months I could be in the mulch beds for days with hand snips and hedge trimmers, but other months it might only take me a few hours. Do you ever tell your clients an hourly rate? Just asking for some help. Much love, man. Ben, first of all, congratulations. It's a good feeling when you get your first large-scale property, because the work brings in so much money. And when you look around that property from season to season, it's like the work never stops. It's just a rotating, revolving door of opportunity and money in your work and effort. The best way that I can answer your question, Ben, is to just break down the property that we're looking at right here. That way, while you're watching this footage, you can visualize the scale, the size, and how much work is actually involved when I start explaining everything that has to be done in this property. You're going to have two prices for your hourly rate to protect yourself from being disappointed at the end of these jobs. The first hourly rate you're going to have is just for your basic services. Weeding the beds, spraying the rocks, just little cleanups, touch-ups, nothing major. No huge trim jobs, no upgrades, nothing like that. Just a normal rate. For me, in 2024, it's going to be set at $80 per man hour. And me being solo, like many of us are, that's what I need to make at the very minimum, $80 for my minimal services. The second price you're going to have in your mind is for your specialty services. These services are the ones that require your special knowledge you've accumulated and your skills to actually do this work. This hourly rate for me is going to be at $120 per hour when I'm out there on the job site this year. A good example of this hourly rate that takes skills and knowledge would be these boxwood hedges, because you don't want to give them a price of $200 and then come in there and take 6 hours to trim and clean up those hedges. Very disappointing outcome for sure. One thing you must be careful about, let's say I go in and I bid a trim job for $600 in the spring. The springtime growth is not excessive. So if I go back in the fall and I go by my set prices of $600, but I'm trimming 4 times as much growth and I'm cleaning up 4 times as much material along with the leaves, you can't have the same price, all right? You have to protect yourself, you have to protect your profits and your time. That's why I do the hourly rates. The season's gonna be different. Maybe one season I'll have a lot of growth, next season not so much. Maybe one season I have 20 plants that I didn't have to prune for 3 years because that's the way they grow. But then the third year, it takes me 3 hours to prune those plants. All these little details that you don't think about can slam you right in the head. Always consider these things. This is why I go with the hourly rates on these large properties. Let me know in the comments section if you've ever bid a job by the job itself, and in the process of this job, you're quickly realizing that you are behind your schedule of what you thought was going to take you. And then the further it progresses, the more you start worrying about it, and the more it starts stressing you out, because you're looking at all these hours that you're putting in, and you're not on track, and you start flipping out, and it stresses you out. So you start moving faster and faster, and then you end up messing something up on the job, and then you're just wasting your time. So look, if you've been in that situation to where you've been on a job and you started stressing because you bid it for a certain amount of hours in your own mind, and it was a set rate, so there was no making up for your mistakes, that's a bad feeling. It'll make you sick. That's another reason I do the hourly rate. If I'm just doing the hourly rate, there's no stress involved. I'm there for as long as it takes. It does not matter to me how long it takes. And the way I work for a solid hour straight, hardcore, and then I take a 10-minute break. I work another hour straight, hardcore, I take a 10-minute break. That's just the way I roll. And I know, guaranteed, that I can knock out 2 or 3 times as much work as a normal person does in that hour. I don't feel bad at all charging the amount of money I charge for the perfection I produce. You shouldn't either. Common sense tells us that all of our clients are in different financial situations in life. They all have different standards and levels of services that they're interested in getting performed. So let's discuss how we present our services to these different clients to guarantee that they use us for the services they're looking for. These large, high-dollar accounts are not situations where you bid them over the telephone. You don't bid them by looking them up on the GPS and Google Earth and just throwing out a number. These high-end clients of yours expect you and deserve a nice, long, thorough walkthrough of their properties. Everything that you walk through needs to be thoroughly explained to them. In this process, you will show them all the knowledge that you've learned. And by the end of your conversation and walkthrough, they will be confident in your hourly rate that you address them with. There we go. All nice and clean. Cleaned, trimmed, taken care of. So, Mr. Godwin, we will come in here in the spring. We will do a trimming session on all the plants and shrubs that are needed at that time of the year. We will do a full cleanup of all the blow around leaves from the corners and all inside the bushes and such. And we'll bring in fresh mulch for your beds. As of April 1st, our mowing season starts. Your mowing price is $210 per mowing visit, and that's weekly every week. While we are on your property mowing, we will also do routine bed maintenance for the weeds out of the mulch beds and the rock beds that you have here. This service is at $80 per man hour. Midsummertime, we'll have a quick bush trimming session. That will be billed at $120 per man hour. My mowing season ends November 1st, and then we start our leaf cleanups, along with our final fall trim session, and that is all billed at $120 per man hour. So there you go. The front was not hard, just time consuming, okay? Took me a full day and a full trailer. Here we are in the backyard now, and we're gonna continue this cleaning footage, and we'll continue the conversations. Again, happy Thanksgiving. I've been telling you gentlemen for a long time to be going after these large estates and offering every service available. And this is exactly why. Let's go over the numbers. 32 mowing sessions on this account is $6,720 for the season. The initial spring startup visit, trimming, cleanup, mulching, landscaping enhancements came out to $4,140. The routine bed maintenance came out to around $1,200 for the season. And this final trim session came out to $3,060. Alright, so the backyard's so big, I divided it this way, pushing out the gate, clean up all this stuff, push it this way. So that's the way we're gonna work it. Down to that gate where my truck is parked, and then in the afternoon, after my lunch break, we'll finish up here at the pool and push it that direction out the gate. So yeah. This one large-scale account has generated $15,120 in revenue for me, and I've profited $13,000 in my own personal pocket. Now, I'm going to go over some numbers real quick to show you guys that it is worth driving a little bit of distance to get to these accounts. I know route density is screamed about on YouTube, but there's different ways to run your business. Trust me, I'm going to have proof with these amazing numbers. We're going to talk about how many normal size accounts you would have as a mower and how many actual trips it would take you to make the same amount of money. Stick around. Gotta get from this nook and cranny, push this down, top that out. All nice and cleaned up. And going into the garden. Whew. The difference between me doing this one large scale account and you doing 8 accounts on just mowing the grass for $60 a visit on a weekly basis, the numbers are just astounding. So please stick around and listen to this logic and make some good decisions for yourself in the future. And out the gate. That's much more like it. An hour later, Mother Nature and God have pushed all that nasty smoke away to help me finish my mission today. So, hey, I'm gonna carry on. I just thought I would show you the wonderful work that the Creator can do real quick, real easy. Sometimes all you gotta do is ask, here, and they help somehow. They just do it. Come on. So you just got this one account and you're charging $60 per mowing visit. All right. Times 32 visits a year is $1,920 for mowing. you must travel to this property 32 times a year. Now, to equal the 15,120 that I made off this one property, you would then have to make 8 accounts. Okay, listen carefully. These 8 accounts will bring you the same income, but you will have to make 256 trips out to these accounts compared to my 36 trips that I accomplished on this one account for the year. And yes, I understand route density. Sometimes you can park your truck and do 4 properties at once. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about you have to drive a short distance to all 8 of these properties. It all adds up. It's a lot of time consumed, a lot of opening and closing the gate. And honestly, if I'm going to make $720 in a day, I'd rather just sit at one place, not get in the truck at all to drive anywhere, and just enjoy the experience of making these places beautiful. But that's just my opinion, and that's the way I like to roll. We're all different, and this is your path. No one said this was a set path for success. There's plenty of them out there. I understand completely that some of us do not live in the demographics that have large properties with these upscale clients. Okay, I understand that. So let's talk about this other scenario that I did go through this year with a new client of mine. They had a normal sized yard that I looked at and I was like, yeah, $80 per visit. I'll be able to knock it out in an hour worth of time. Now, they also wanted to have routine bed maintenance done, and this is not a large property, but there's plenty of beds. It's on one of my videos. Well, it's on plenty of my videos. But she was on a budget. She didn't want to spend over $400. So already we were at $320 just for the mowing, which left me a budget of $80 a month to keep her beds cleaned out. So I went ahead and told her, hey, every other week we'll go through the beds and take care of them for you. That way it's $40 and $40. It keeps her on the $400 budget, and it gives me 30 minutes to run through the beds and pull weeds, take care of the place. Any other service that she gets is already agreed to the $80 per man hour that I've talked to her about. That's the trimming, the mulching, any other upgrades like landscape projects will definitely be addressed at a different hourly rate on a different bid. Okay, so these prices that you can accomplish on any size property, you just have to work with some customers and clients because they have budgets. They don't live in mansions. They just live in a nice house on a nice property. They want to look nice. Let's cover another topic real quick that comes up frequently, especially when you're talking to clients. And that's the topic of, do you give a discount? Of course I do. But it's only going to be once a year. That's my discount offer. And this is exactly why. In the springtime, you're going to have a lot of startup costs involved. Just getting your operation started in the spring. Repairs, new equipment, new employees, you name it. It's a cost involved in the springtime. So to help me generate a big, large sum of money in February before the season even starts, I do offer all my clients a 10% discount if they prepay in full by February 21st of that year for their spring services. So basically, if you have a $3,500 job that I already know the price of it, I've done it for years and years, I'm giving you the opportunity to pay me up front and full in February. I'll come out there and do the work sometime in March, and you save $350 off that job. The secret is the mulch discount I get for buying mulch in bulk offsets that whole discount. So the discount is just a psychological discount, and that happens a lot in our world. Another client you'll run into are those that have multiple properties, and they will confront you and ask you and say, hey, I got multiple properties, man. Do you mind giving me a discount on those since, I'm providing you with work? That's a touchy subject. So let's talk about that as soon as I check back in. So the time is 10 minutes after 3. And in my mind, I'm right on schedule. Got here at 11:45 after going a dump run this morning. And it took me 3 hours to get that secret garden area cleaned up. And that's right about what I figured it would. So I ate a quick bite to eat and get ready to tackle this area in the back and show what I got. And we'll get to work because I really don't have time to think or talk or anything else. So let's blow leaves. That's where I was over there. I'd already cleaned up around the pool and everything in that little section over there. So I got to push this here on the tarp and this little area here, over here. Then we got to go through, push everything that direction because that just goes out to where the driveway and truck is. Just a few leaves to work with, no worries. Hopefully I'll be done by 5:30, that's the plan. One of my very first clients when I was starting out that had multiple properties was always asking me for discounts, no matter what the price was. So finally I just had to tell him, hey, I can give you the real price or I can give you an inflated price and then give you a discount just to make you feel better. Which one do you want? I left it up to him. All right, so it's almost 4:20 for sure. Let me just show you what I've been doing real quick. Oh man, chaos, dude, chaos. So you can see here, it's like this every year, just so much stuff. Strawberry. In order for you to step up your game to the next level that you're trying to achieve, you're gonna just have to punch fear right in the face. You cannot be scared, guys. For the last 2 years and 4 months, I've been putting out videos and I've had 2 helpers with me or more for some of these missions. And I just want you to know, I picked all these properties up many years ago, and I've done them solo many times. I've been solo for the last 3 weeks, ever since Dalton left and went to do his own start in life, his career. And in those 3 weeks by myself, just working hard and working constantly, I've generated $10,375. Now, if you're scared that you can't handle big accounts, you're just lying to yourself, because I'm not superhuman. I'm not anything, I'm not a machine, nothing like that. I'm just a guy that has goals, and I am determined to accomplish my goals. All right, here we are on the home stretch. Last bed on the whole property. Woohoo! Let me get this cleaned up real quick and yeah, run out of daylight, but it's been an amazing day with a lot of good work done. Let's do it, and then I'll come back and talk. To all the warriors out there that have shown me the support and given me your time and your attention here on YouTube, thank you so much. And to Ben Godwin, much love and good luck on your missions this coming year and growing your business, landing these big properties that I love to do. Haha. Well, as you can see with the moon behind me and everybody's lights are on, it's a lot darker than this video camera is telling you it is. So, that being said, it's time to go. Be good if you can, always be kind, above all, love each other. Guys, hope your Thanksgiving was amazing, and peace. Elite Landscape style.